Welcome back to another video with Jerry Exclusive. I hope you guys are ready to learn a lot from this video. If you are ready, make sure you go down, subscribe, hit the like button as well right below before we get started. And I'm just gonna wait for you to do that. Today we are going to be talking about how to get into a Russell Group University as a year 13 student. There are going to be other versions of this video as well for year 11 students and year 12 students. So if that fits, if those categories fit you, then go and watch those. You're going to see a prompt on the screen somewhere in the top right or the top left. So click that and go watch that if you're not in year 13. I mean, you can still watch this video if you know someone who is in year 13, but the other videos might be more relevant to you. Let me start off by saying a quick disclaimer. This video is about getting into university, but don't feel pressure that you necessarily have to get into university. University is just one of many post-18 pathways. I know there might be a lot of pressure. You know, it might seem like a social norm that you just go high school, sixth form, university, but you don't necessarily have to follow that path. You could follow the path that fits you best. For me, I'm very thankful that I made it into such an amazing university, but I was actually convinced about doing a degree apprenticeship before I applied to uni. So again, that just goes to show that your mind might change and you don't necessarily have to feel like university is the only choice that you have. Let me just get that out of the way before we start the video. So yeah, I wouldn't be making this video if I wasn't a Russell Group University student at Queen Mary University. So I'm gonna obviously share with you my personal success stories, but on top of that, I'm gonna give you factual advice with evidence as well. I'm gonna show you screenshots of like articles and facts and stuff like that is gonna really help you. I feel like there might be a lot of misinformation out there about how to really go about your studies, and I'm not saying it's easy, but it's much easier than a lot of people think when you actually break it down and you follow the tips that I'm about to show you in the video. Again, I'm not a guru at this. I didn't get 4 A stars at A level. I'm not perfect, but with my experience, I'm sure that you could do very well and have a much bigger chance at getting into a Russell Group University. Tip number 1 is aim high, but be realistic. This links to goal setting, but it also kind of links to self-belief. A lot of people I know, a lot of students that went to year 13 with me, I don't know about you, I don't know about your school, but there was usually, the group of the super smart people, and then, the people who didn't necessarily get the highest grades. And you always see that in the people that didn't get the best grades, they always set really low goals for themselves, which you could say, okay, they're just being realistic, they're just being human, they know what they're capable of and they're setting goals to reflect that. But at the same time, I don't know if you guys have heard of the analogy or the quote of it goes something like, aim for the stars, because even if you don't reach the stars, at least you're gonna fall on the moon. And that's what I'm trying to relay with this tip, is that even if you're not the high roller, you're not getting the best grades in the class, still aim for ambitious goals. That way, at least it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you working for something that is just beyond your reach, so that even when exam day comes and results day comes, you're probably not gonna get super hard, super high grades, but at least you're still gonna fall back on something that is gonna be much higher than if you had just set yourself low goals to begin with. So that's something to think about. And again, what I meant by it links to goal setting is you should realistically set goals written down. I might have a screenshot here of my A-level goals. Me, I was like super unrealistic with it. I set myself to get 4 A stars at the end of A-levels. I didn't get that, but I'm still happy with what I got. It was good enough to get me into a Russell Group University. But that just goes to show, if I didn't set myself such a high goal, such a high expectation, maybe I wouldn't have worked as hard as I did. Maybe I would have just been like, you know what, that's cool, I'm not going to study as much. I only set myself this tiny goal, I can reach it. But if it was a really high ambitious goal that's just out of my comfort zone, I'll be like, oh my god, we need to study, we need to study. Not necessarily panicking, but just like on my toes a bit, a little bit more active and energized and ready. Every day when I wake up, I know that I'm going for a really high goal, so I can't mess around. So yeah, that's tip number one. Tip numero dos. Maintain a strong and consistent academic record. I cannot emphasize this enough. A lot of your schools, I don't know how your system works, but for us, we had regular exams, serious exams throughout the year, just to keep us on track and show us where we're being weak or where our strong points are, so we can focus on being better for the next test. We used to call them quarterly exams. So the first one would be in October, and then December, and then March, and then March. I don't know when the fourth one was, but there were 4 quarterly exams that were pretty serious. We used to sit them in the hall. They would give us candidate numbers and everything, so they would treat it seriously, like it was an actual exam. And these exams were just used to for us to gauge where we are, gauge how hard we need to work, gauge how well or not well we're reaching our targets. And if that's the system that you have in your school, or whatever other testing system that you have in your school, make sure you take that seriously and try to be as consistent as possible. I know a lot of you guys are athletes, or you go to the gym or whatever you do, but even if you're not an athlete, you know that warming up is important. Now, having a consistent academic record throughout your in class or the test that you do in your academic year is very important, because it's like a warm up. When you start working out, you want to warm up because your heart rate is here at first, but you want to consistently warm up and warm up. Your body you feel better, you feel stronger, you feel more active, your brain feels ready, and you get to a point where you peak, and then you can start working out and doing high intense stuff. That's what, for me, I feel like having a strong academic record is like. You get to pinpoint your weaknesses and your strengths while you're going through the academic year and you're doing this test. And also, deep in the back of your head that there's no real consequence, if you get what I mean. Like, this is not the actual final exam. So you have a little bit more, less pressure off your shoulders to really, go for it and try your best. So yeah, take these tests seriously and try and build up by working on your mistakes aggressively. And I use that word aggressively. Make sure you work on your mistakes aggressively. A lot of people, they see their mistakes and they're just like, oh, okay, maybe I'll work on that a little bit. No, find a mistake, break it down. What do I need to do? Work on it aggressively. For me, my hardest topic was, I think, integration. One of the types of integration, I forgot which part, but even integration as a whole was a difficult topic to me, and I'm glad that I pinpointed it at the last minute. And basically my plan was this. First of all, I would go to one of my teachers. We used to have this a really smart teacher. I used to go to her every now and then, like after school or whenever she had free time. I would just pop in. Like if I came into school early in the morning, I'll just pop in, even if it's 10 minutes. I'll show her a question that I've been struggling with. I used to have a network of friends, like one of my really smart friends in my maths class. I'll just tell him to send me pictures of his working out, and I'll send him pictures of my working out, and we would just talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, send each other good hard questions. And also I would speak to a lot of students that I know are really good at integration, and I'll give them a question. I'll say, do this for me please, and explain to me how you did it. And then when they do it, they explain to me how to do it. I'll go home, try to do the same question, and I'll just have a very intentional way of approaching. So I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Be really aggressive with your weaknesses. When you find something that you're bad at, don't just be relaxed about it. Actually get better at it. So that all comes into being consistent with your academic record in the test or the exams that you sit during your academic year. That is tip 2. Tip numero 3. Maintain your extracurricular activities, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Still be doing the stuff that you do outside of school, the stuff that you love doing, because that's what keeps you going. For me, it was sports. That's actually the main reason I picked PE. Was not because I saw it as a qualification, but just because I found PE fun for me. It wasn't hard work at all. Thankfully, it wasn't, like, I know it's still an A-level subject, that's still difficult, but to me, I just loved sports. Like every time I went into a PE class, it didn't feel like work at all to me, not even a little bit. That was like my stress relief. And so, yeah, PE, but also football as well. I played football. I went to the gym a lot. If you know me, I'm like a gym addict. I take care of my health and all of that stuff. So still keep the stuff that you're doing outside of school, your extracurricular activities. They keep your brain fresh, when you need to rest, when you need to just tone everything out and just be by yourself, or just do something that really makes you relax and releases serotonin and endorphins and whatever you need to get you back on track. That's where your extracurricular activities come in. I know a lot of students, when exam time is coming, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna cancel my gym membership for now. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna play at my club anymore just for these next 3 months so I can really focus on A levels. I understand where you're coming from, but you're not gonna feel much better if you cancel all the different activities that you're doing and just start living a very, very sedentary lifestyle. You're actually gonna feel worse mentally. I don't even think I need to emphasize or tell you this, but studies across, years and years and years of observation have proven consistently that students who have a good amount of extracurricular activities always do better in standardized tests than students who don't. Now, that being said, I'm not saying do every single club that your school has to offer. Pick your sweet spot, pick one, maybe two. Don't try and do too much, because then it's gonna have a negative effect, because you're gonna be too stressed, you're gonna have too much on your plate. So pick the stuff that doesn't weigh you down. Pick just a few, maybe even one really good activity, and that's really all you need. You could like volunteering, you could do any sports kind of thing, you could do any mental based extracurricular activities such as chess or any other games that you like. It could be music as well. There's so many different extracurriculars that even if your school doesn't provide, you can go find some for yourself. There's probably some that you can do online. So there's literally thousands and thousands of activities that you can find if you just look for them, and you can network with people to help you look for them as well. That leads me very nicely to tip number cuatro, which is networking. Network, network, network. And then when you're done, go back and then network again. Networking can be a very scary concept, especially when you're in school. You might be introverted, you might not feel comfortable going out there, putting yourself out there. It might feel very daunting. I know what you're gonna say. I'm just an introvert, I just want to chill. I just want to, I'm not trying to be out there. I just want my... No, introversion is not an excuse. You can really go out there and make real connections, real friends that can help you, guide you, mentor you. So start very small. Start with the students that are around you. Like I was talking about in tip number 2, just network with your friends. Your friends are very easy to network with, or your classmates, your acquaintances. Network with them. Try and see if you can do questions together, revise together. Share like notes, share pictures of your working out and stuff like that. At a higher level, you can go out to events. There are a lot of different networking events that are actually free. Some of them I think are paid, but most of them that I have heard of are free. These are events where you just go and you speak to potential universities or degree apprenticeships and stuff like that, and you can meet so many people. Most people, when they go to these events, most students just mess around. They just go, they speak to the university, and then they grab a tote bag or the prospectus, and then they leave. When you go there, actually try to network with these people, get to know who they are, what they do, how they do it, and then at the end of it, get their number or their email, and then follow up with an email or a text just asking for advice. That's what I usually do. When I get someone's number or their email who I want to mentor me or who I want to get advice from, don't wait for like 2 or 3 months before contacting them. Contact them the next day or the next 2 days. Just ask them, hey, it was nice meeting you yesterday, blah 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 blah, I really found it interested. Could I get some advice on this, on this? Can I get some advice on this university or this? And the more advice you get, the better you can pick out the little bits that fit you. So yeah, just don't be scared to put yourself out there, because the worst that can happen is really nothing. There's really nothing bad that will come out of trying to network for academic purposes. At the end of it, you could actually end up having amazing friends, amazing uni friends. That's a good feeling to have, because you know you're going into university. It's going to be much easier to settle in because you already have kind of friends and mentors that can help you to familiarize yourself with the surroundings, and help you with any troubles that you may have. So like I said, network, find a community that you can be part of. Just find some friends, some mentors, get some advice from as many people as possible. Personal statement mastery. Now, personal statement wasn't really my highlight. I feel like mine wasn't the best personal statement, just because I'm not necessarily, I'm more of a, like a, not maths person, but more of like an analytical person, rather than writing long essays. I'm not an essay person, is what I'm trying to say. I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to put. But you have a lot of people around you, your teachers. You might have a university counselor or whatever, careers counselor, whatever they call it in your school, who can help you a lot. Also, like I said in the previous tip, networking. You're gonna have a lot of people who can help you from your network to help you to edit your personal statement, or to give you advice on what to write and how to write. When I was doing my personal statement, I had to edit and re-edit it at least 10 times. So I kept going to my teacher, my form tutors, and my other friends, getting them to proofread it and reading theirs, just to see what bits that they have, what good things that they have that I can put into mine. And I would always edit it, always add something or delete something, just to make it a little bit better. And at the end of the day, like I said, I still don't think it turned out the best personal statement ever. But without having that system around me to help me to check my work and to check what I was doing, then it would have been a lot worse. I probably wouldn't have been in this position to be going to this university right now. So yeah, make sure you do a lot of work on your personal statement, and don't leave it to last minute as well. Start doing all the research that you need, and start, when you start writing, obviously always check with your teachers or form tutors or any system that you have around you to help you check and edit your personal statement. You can't really write a personal statement if you have nothing to put in it, which is the main issue that I know a lot of year 13s have. It's just like, I don't have anything to put. I haven't done anything. I don't have any work experience. I don't have any internships. I haven't volunteered or anything. If you haven't done anything, then it's very straightforward. Just go and do something. I know that sounds, like I'm being sarcastic, but go and find something to do. It's actually very easy to find some sort of volunteering opportunity. I remember in year 10, we had this NCIS. I don't know if it's still a thing right now, but you could go on to NCIS. There's several Jack Petchy activities and several schemes and programs that the Jack Petchy Foundation provide. So there's a lot of different charities and stuff that you can sign up with. But also, this takes me back to my previous tip, networking. For me, I found it super not easy, but it was a lot more convenient to book opportunities, because I had a network of people that I had reached out to, that I could just email them and text them like, hey, I'm looking for this and this and that. If you could help me, it would mean a lot. And I was able to I'd volunteered a lot already by the time I was in year 13. I had done like work experience at a bank. What else have I done? Oh yeah, I'd also done part-time jobs. I had done 2 part-time jobs by then. One of them was being like a cleaner and a party organizer, and the other one was being a virtual community manager. The way I got my virtual community manager job was actually because I reached out to my employer before. I didn't even know that she was offering any jobs. I just reached out to her because I thought what she does was interesting. She's just a CEO of Upskill Me. The way I just said that so casually, oh, she's just a CEO of Upskill Me. But yeah, I don't think you guys have watched the video before, but there's going to be a prom right there. I did an interview with her, actually, like a podcast type interview. I reached out to her because, I thought what she used to send emails to schools about educational opportunities. And I was like, this is someone that can help me. She has a business. She has an educational company that helps students. So why not reach out to her? I was like, she's probably not going to respond, but life is short. I might as well just try it. And she replied, she was like, oh yeah, Jerry, that would be great. Boom, boom, boom. Fast forward a couple of years later, she's employing me to be a virtual community manager on one of her platforms. So that's just me just accumulating all these different work experiences and all these different activities, just because I networked with people who could put me in those positions. So network a lot, and that's how you get a lot of things to write in your personal statement. Also, make yourself more educated in terms of like an independent type of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like autodidactic, I think that's the word. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically just teaching yourself stuff and going out there and learning things for yourself. So it could be reading books or watching certain TED Talks or reading articles, just so you're a little bit more familiarized with whatever it is that you want to put in your personal statement and whatever cause you're applying for. This all goes a long way to helping your personal statement flow, because it just makes you seem like, you're a complete person. You know what you're talking about, your experience, you're ready to go, you're ready to enter the university. You're the candidate that they need, basically. It just makes you come across as a lot more attractive candidate. So do all of those things so you have a lot of stuff to write in your personal statement. You don't want to have one thing in your personal statement like, oh, I played for the football club. That's amazing, but what? That's it. You're applying to do English and you played for the football club. That's not really going to get you in, if you get what I mean. So yeah, try to have as much experiences as possible so that your personal statement is filled up with all these experiences so you can show off everything you've done. Tip number 6 is understand the UCAS application process. You're going to be applying for university through UCAS. I mean, that's how I applied. I don't know if there's any other way to apply, but I think that's how most students in the UK apply to university. Usually in my school, the students, not the students, your teachers, your form tutors will guide you on when to apply, and they will, guide you with the deadlines and everything that you need to do, from logging in, creating an account, to, how to set up everything on your account and how to enter your details and how to apply for universities. So they will give you all the information. And I feel like this is very important because a lot of people, they wait for last minute, which is the worst thing you could do, especially if you're applying to Oxford or Cambridge or medicine or dentistry or any of those medicine or Oxbridge applications. You want to be applying by October. I don't know the exact deadline, but it's I'm gonna put a screenshot on the screen. It's like mid-October, so you don't want to be procrastinating with this. It just helps you to keep you on your toes, obviously, because at the end of the day, you can have, the best everything, the best grades, the best all of that, but if you miss your application, you miss your application. And if you mess up the UCAS process, then you mess up the UCAS process, and you don't want to be doing that. So obviously make sure you're on top of everything that you're doing when it comes to UCAS. You know your deadlines, you know exactly how to go about it so you can have the best possible application in time. So it's a bit of a longer video, but I feel like I would be doing a disservice to the people who watch me, because I know a lot of you guys are maybe the same age or maybe a little bit younger. So I feel like this might help you a lot in, getting into a Russell Group University, if that's something that you want to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, you subscribe as well. You share the video to anyone that it might help. Wait, actually, there's a bonus tip. I almost forgot about that. There is a bonus tip, guys. And the bonus tip is to click the link down below, which leads you to back to school resources. Now, there are a lot of resources. I haven't really delved deep into explaining what this link leads you to. So this link contains a lot of back to school resources, like physical stuff that you need in school, such as, the basic stuff, calculators, pens, whatever you name it, textbooks, revision guides, workbooks, all of that. But also what a lot of people don't know is that I've been working on a PE revision guide. Like I said in one of the previous tips, PE doesn't really seem like work to me. It's actually one of my favorite subjects that I did at A level, and I've been doing it since year 11 as well. In year 11, me, a couple of my friends, and a couple of PE teachers, we worked on and we edited and we reviewed this revision guide. We actually have two. We have the AQA and the edXL version. So it's basically a digital revision guide, textbook slash workbook type of document, which is all online or digital, and it's brand new. So you can also get access to that if PE is something that you do, or you know someone else who does PE. This is the textbook or the revision guide that I used to get amazing PE grades. I've never had a bad PE grade in my whole life. I mean, because I love it, but also because I used this revision guide. So go down into the Typeform link. There's loads and lots of different options that you can pick from, but that's just like a summary of what you can expect from there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.